I know it's been like a whole week, but I have excuses that I don't need to tell you. But today I'm going to be doing my January wrap-up, and in January I read 9 books. 9 books in January, so let's just go with them in order. The first book I read was when I started at the end of 2015, and that is Crossfire by Michael Carroll. This is a continuation of the New Heroes and Superhuman Clash series. It's a little bit confusing, but this is just a superhero story, and it's the aftermath of the events of the New Heroes specifically, because it's set after that, and Superhuman Clash is actually the prequel. But I can't give plot because spoilers for like 7 books. But I will say it was enjoyable, but like it was a bit slow at the beginning, which I don't usually isn't usually a problem with his books. But the beginning bit was a bit slow. Like, it picked up, it got really good, but I did enjoy it. It's a solid superhero series, and it's really fun, and I think more people should read it. I think I gave it a 4.25 stars, something like that, because like the ending was so good. Just the beginning bit was a bit of a drag. So yeah, I read this one first. Then I picked up the entire Mistborn trilogy, and I read them all this month, but we'll talk about them individually. The Final Empire is book 1. It follows the story of a girl named Vin, who lives on the streets of Luthadel, which is a city in the Empire which the Lord Ruler, who came to power 1,000 years ago, controls. And basically she gets involved in a plan to kill the Lord Ruler using allomancy. Is really cool. Allomancy is the magic, and if you don't know, it's about burning metals, which I think, as most people seem to know about this series, that allomancy is about burning metals. But I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. Like, the ending of this book was just, I was so not ready for what happened. I loved it. I'm pretty sure I posted a review somewhere on either my blog or my Goodreads. I think I did it on both, actually. But this book was amazing. I gave it 5 stars. It was just a really good book. Then we had The Well of Ascension, which is book 2, which is a continuation of the story. And I enjoyed this one quite a bit less. I gave it 4 stars. It could be a bit higher, but I mean, the writing was superb, but the ending was just not as climactic as the end of The Final Empire. And I really think it suffered from middle of the trilogy syndrome, which is a shame because the characters were really fun, though we did lose someone that I loved. But yes, this was a harder book to read. I did enjoy it, really enjoy it, but it just didn't have the same impact as the first one. But then we got to The Hero of Ages, book 3, and the ending of this book was actually stunning. What even happened? I gave it 5 stars. The whole first section deals with kind of strange stuff, but then the ending happened, and for about 150 pages I was just in there going, what's happening? It was just so good. This one was really good. Really good. I recommend this trilogy, but if you don't like the second one, you'll be fine. Just move on to the third one. The third one's so much better. And then after that, I read the entirety of the Modern Fairy Tales trilogy by Miss Holly Black. And the first book, Tithe, follows a young girl named Kay who discovers she is possibly more than a human. And it's really cool. She helps this guy who turns out to be a fairy, and it just goes insane from there. But amazing. I give it 4.5 stars. The thing about all of the Modern Fairy Tale trilogy is that I loved every single book, but something was missing. I don't know what it was, but I have an idea of what it could have been, but something was missing for me to give it a 5 stars. This first book had such cool characters. Introduced Kay, Corny, Royben. Corny, I love Corny. Corny's my fave. But it's really fun. It's a really fun series. It's an urban fantasy that I think more people should read. And then we have Valiant, which follows a different set of characters, so it does kind of make it optional to when you move to Ironside, but I suggest you read it because Valiant has a lot of stuff that happens that has Consequences in Ironside. It was just a really good book. Oh my god. Like, seriously, follows Val, who basically catches her boyfriend having sex with her mum. And then, from that, she goes on an adventure to living on the streets with some really cool people, like Lewis. Or is it Louis? Louis, who knows? He's fun. He appears in Ironside. And it was a really fun series. This was a fun book. Just interesting. And then Ironside, like, concludes the whole thing, and it was really good. I really enjoyed Ironside. Yeah, I don't want to give any plot spoilers, but it really picks up after Tithe, more specifically than Valiant, but solid. And something I will say for all three of these books is that in typical Holly Black fashion, they have got diversity, beautiful writing, and it is just wonderful. This trilogy is really fun, and people should read it. Okay, and the last two books I read were both ebooks. The first one was The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. I gave it a 5 stars because, I didn't know what to expect, but I loved it. It follows a group of kids who are not the chosen one, and basically in their town, the chosen one always comes from there. And it was really funny because, like, all of the stuff that was happening with the actual chosen one kind of subplot, like, was impacting their lives. But they were just like, yeah, as long as they don't blow up the school, it's fine. As long as they don't blow it up before graduation, it's fine, it's fine. I was like, what even? What's going on? But I loved the characters, and especially Mike. Mike, oh, bless him. If you don't know, this book has some mental health themes, and it was amazing how it dealt with them, and I just loved it. Patrick Ness's writing was superb, and I loved it. Loved it. Last book, which is probably my favourite for the whole month. It was just stunning. Absolutely stunning. And it is Carry the Ocean by Heidi Cullinan. Okay, if any of you have been around my channel for a time, you know, like, last August I went on a binge on reading LGBT fiction. This book started it again, because, oh my god. Okay, it follows two boys, Emmett and Jeremy. Jeremy with 3 E's. And basically, they live on opposite sides of a train track, and Emmett is autistic. And for, like, months and months leading up to where the novel actually starts, he has been admiring Jeremy from his window, and he doesn't have the courage to go up and befriend him because he doesn't really know what to do because the whole social difficulties with autism. And then you get to Jeremy, who is clearly not well. I mean, it's not outright stated for quite a while that he is ill, but it's heavily implied. But these two come together at a picnic, and they have wild adventures. And I will say this book does have a trigger warning for suicide, and is just generally a heartbreaking book, and it was beautiful, and I loved it so much. I will say it is a bit explicit, and definitely fits in the new adult genre, but it had, the mental health issues were absolutely stunning, and Emmett's perspectives reminded me of Christopher from The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night Time, which is a book I adored, and I need to get Carry the Ocean now because I really loved it. It was a really good book, and I really enjoyed it. So, yes, those are the 9 books I read this month. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll have another one up soon. So, goodbye.